But yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with it. I know that I will also get a decent amount of stretch out of it when I actually wash it. So I am happy. Yay, I'm glad I tried it on. I almost lost some stitches. Don't try this at home. Hey everyone, my name is Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to the 26th episode of the Love in Stitches podcast. Today is Tuesday, August 6th, and it is 99 degrees here in Texas. Feels like 108, which is, it's hot. Luckily, I haven't had to be outside much today, which is really, really good. So let's just dive right in. I guess I will say that today was the first day of school, and I am not a classroom teacher, but I do interact with students, but that doesn't really get started until like the second week of school. So this is a pretty cool time for me to just like really work on a lot of data and stuff. I work in intervention, so yeah, I had a good first day up until probably the end, but I will get to that at the end of the episode. I am super excited to be here recording. I was looking forward to it all day long. So I'm gonna start with what I'm wearing. This is not what I wore to work today. I don't really know if it would be like appropriate. It's not quite 3 fingers. If it was a little wider, I could probably get away with it, and I would wear a thicker tank top underneath it if I was wearing it at work. But this is a tank top that I knit a few years ago. It is called the Notched Hem Tank Top, and it's a free pattern by Pearl Soho. And I made mine out of Quince & Co. Sparrow, and this colorway is called Hibiscus. Ugh, my nose is itchy from allergies. So this is a linen, I think it's a blend. I didn't look at the what the yarn type was, but it is definitely a linen. It's one of those that is not so fun to knit with, at least for me personally. But then when it's done and you wash and dry the garment, it kind of like into place and looks really, really good. So let me stand up and show you. This is a pretty long tank, like it comes down, not mid-thigh, but it is pretty long. So I can't really show you the bottom, but it does have this like pearl reverse stockinette little ridge on the side. It does have increases here, which is good for an A-line shape, kind of like mine. Here's what I don't like about it, and I don't think I can really show you. I am wearing running shorts because I'm planning to take a walk later, but it is super, super notched, okay? Maybe I'm gonna have to put in like a picture for you, but it is notched on the side. You pretty much bind off stitches to make the notch, but on my body type, this is just not flattering. So basically, like, it'd be really cute if it was just like a little like split seam on the side. It'd be really cute. It'd be really great for my shape or anyone else who is more A-line or hourglass shaped. But when there is that wide of a notch, what this does is that in the front, and I guess the back of your body, but I can't really see that. I can see myself in the mirror in the front. This creates like a square in front of your legs and crotch area that is very much like a loincloth. It looks terrible, but maybe I can get like a video or a picture in to show you. But I think I could fix this pretty easily. Like I said, I finished this a few years ago, but this line right here actually really hits me nicely. So I think if I just took out this knitting and just bound it all the way off, all the way across and in the back, that I would have a garment that I would actually wear more often. I really don't wear it that much. Like I said, I didn't wear it to work. I put it on because I hadn't worn any knitting or crochet in a while, and I felt like I needed to wear something. So this is definitely nice and cool for this hot day. Okay, let's jump into some current projects. I have a finished object. It's all finished except for ends. I finished it on my lunch break today, brought it to school with me, and it is a float tote. So this is my float tote pattern. I made just the tote portion, not the other pieces that come on the inside that make it really good for working on like multi-skein projects. But I just made the tote on its own because I'm making it as a gift for my sister. She's going off to college in like a week or so. Yeah, like 10 days, I think. So I'm going to get this finished tonight so I can put it in the mail and send it home to Tennessee so my mom can give it to her. We picked, this is the color, pretty close to one of the colors for her college. I need to pick all the dog hair off of this. Pretty close to the color for her college, and then just a nice neutral to balance it. And then I did a crab stitch edging. So this is the largest size float tote, and it is absolutely massive. I forgot how big this thing is when I was making it. Like, it is huge. This is just for reference, like, look at how big it is. I think the girls in the yarn cafe always do that, and it's so funny, but it really does help you see. I have a tiny head though, so maybe that didn't really help you see the proportions. But this thing is super big, super, super big. That's the bottom. So I hope she likes it. I mean, she can just carry it around. My mom's gonna like kind of stuff it full of goodies for her, but she can put whatever she wants in it. I mean, she's a teenager, so if she doesn't really like it, that's not gonna hurt my feelings. I think she's a pretty mature, she's a very mature, she's not a kid, but she's very mature, and she appreciates handmade things. She's a cross stitcher, and she's made me some really, really cool and time consuming things. And she also really loves my hand knit socks. So even if she doesn't love it right now, I feel like she would hang on to it and she'll appreciate it later. But it's hard to hold this up because I need like 2 hands, but I do like to fold it over. And when it's sitting down like on a flat surface, it does stand up pretty well. Let me see if I can lift it. When it's on a flat surface, like when it's on my legs, it's sitting up on its own. But that is the float tote. It's made from Sugar and Cream cotton held double. You can use a similar cotton like Peaches and Cream. I think Knit Picks Dishy is a similar weight. Hobby Lobby, I Love This Cotton, is just a tad bit thinner, so you will get a smaller bucket or bag, but it still works. So that is my one and only finished object for the week, is that float tote. I was really glad to get that finished. I have also been working on my Sock Week socks. So Sock Week is over. It was a 8-day knit along to knit 1 sock, and I did finish my 1 sock. So I think I finished it on Thursday. Started Sunday, finished Thursday, and it's a shorty sock, so it wasn't too difficult for me to do because I have made so many socks. But there were a lot of people doing the challenge that were making socks for the first time, and I am shocked and amazed and so proud that they were able to finish a sock in just 1 week, because I know that for my first socks, it took me a really long time. But I did a 64 stitch sock. I started at the toe with Judy's Magic Cast On, increased to 64 stitches, did 76 rounds, I think. This is not for my foot, but 76 rounds for the recipient, fish lips, kiss heel, and then I did a shorty. So this, I believe, is 12 rounds of stockinette after the heel, and six and a super stretchy bind off. If you are following me on Instagram stories, you might have seen me talking about how hard it is to manipulate stripes when you're doing a toe up sock. So I did have some troubles with that. I'm just gonna briefly talk about that because, you know, even though I've knit a lot of socks, there are so many things that I experienced for the first time, and so I'm just gonna share them with you. Maybe they will help you. So starting out with the toe up socks, I started the stripes in here. This was a mini. Started the stripes in here, no problem, went. And then I knew that I needed to do 75 rounds. But the problem is with a foot, you can't just like stop the foot early or extend the foot just because you want to end at the end of a stripe. You just can't do that because you need to fit the sock. Plus you need to put the heel in oriented with how the toe is, because the toe's already there. So that does make things difficult. So I ended up shortening. All of my other stripes are 6 rounds, roughly. And this one is only 5, and I stopped it short and then did the heel. And then I had to actually cut out that last bit of that light blue so that when I started back after the heel, I was into a new stripe. If I hadn't done that, I would have had a little bit of light blue here, and I wouldn't have liked that. Now, this is not the only solution. You can plan it out so that you actually split your stripe, where you do, so a 6-row stripe, you would know how many rows that your stripes are because you've already knitted the foot of the sock. So you would have a good guess. So I could have done 3 rounds before and 3 rounds after of this light blue stripe, but then my foot would have been a tad short. So I went a tad long. We'll see. For this recipient, I'm trying to get like a good fit for her. So time will tell. I'm not giving these till Christmas, so it'll be a little while. I also ran into some trouble with the bind off. Normally I would have switched back to the contrast color for the ribbing, and I do that for so many reasons, because then I don't have to worry about ending with a stripe. I tried this bind off 2 times, and each time I did it, the 2 times that I tried it, I was getting back into the color that comes after gray, because bind offs just take a lot of yarn. So after that second try, I had like 6 stitches left to bind off. I just used a little bit of contrasting yarn. So I have started the second sock though. Oh man, so much sock talk. So I started the second sock pretty quickly after, and I haven't worked on it in many days, but that's okay. I have done the toe. It's a little tangled here. I've done the toe, and I have done just about 2 stripes. I'm coming up on this light blue, and I have another progress keeper here from Simply Serving, and this one is like her cute little, I can't remember if it's a whale or like a narwhal, but it has a pirate hat and an eye patch, and it's super cute. So those socks haven't been getting a ton of work because I've brought something else around with me when I've been working or just going out and about. I still have plenty of this color left. I actually knit a whole other pair of socks, and I might not have enough contrast color left for the heel. I haven't weighed it yet. I'll know when I weigh it. I need at least 3 grams. So we shall see. Time will tell. If not, I will be getting creative. I think I probably have a similar gray that I can match it with. This time, lesson learned, this first sock is traveling in the bag with the second sock so that I don't make the mistake of making my socks different like I did last week. That was so silly. Okay, I am gonna take a drink of water. I got my water bottle, my new Yeti water bottle with my cool magnetic cap, and it just goes like that. So most of the day at work, I am leaving it like this because I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm always so thirsty, and I still had ice like at the end of the workday. I don't have ice anymore, but I really like it. I get water on the top of my mouth, but I really like it. This is the 26-ounce size water bottle that I was disrupted last week when my package came. Okay, I have 2 other whips. I also put a little bit of work on my Like a Cloud cardigan. Not a ton, just a few hours. I went to a Texas Yarn Lovers event, which is just a group of knitters and crocheters that we get together when we can. Some people are in the Dallas area, some people are in the Houston area. There might be somebody in San Antonio, but there are a lot of us here in the Dallas area, and so I like to meet up with them when I can. So we met up on Saturday morning. It was really fun. So this is my Like a Cloud cardigan by Joji Locatelli, and I'm using the recommended Shibui yarns. One is a lace weight. Here, I actually have 2 that aren't wound yet. So one is Sema, it's a lace weight, and I'm using the colorway Tar. The other is Silk Cloud, and it is also, I think, considered a lace weight. It's Kid Silk mohair, kid mohair and silk. And you hold them together and it really creates a lovely, lovely fabric. So I did, let's see, after several hours, that's how much I got done. The rows are long. I'm on like the body rows, so it does take a little bit of time, but this has been a really fun project. I started it when I was traveling, and I'm just trying to work on it like here and there. I really need to put it on, like put the stoppers on, or like put some my little like waist yarn cord so I can truly try it on, because I really need to see like I can get it on. Oh, there we go. See, I'll just try it on now. It's like a little bolero when that used to be the style and stuff. So it's an open front cardigan. So actually, oh, I'm so happy. I was a little worried that it wasn't gonna fit, but it is a slight drop shoulder. So it looks like it is doing that, which is good. I made the size small, which is smaller than I would normally make. This is an oversized cardigan. So, and I only bought yarn for the size small. So that's what I have to make, because that's what size I thought I was when I bought the yarn. But I did give myself the size medium armhole, which I think I'm gonna be really happy with, because it doesn't drop like quite as much. If it dropped to here, you know, I wouldn't need that same circumference. So I think I'm gonna be happy with that. Of course, I can knit it to the length that I want. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with it. I know that I will also get a decent amount of stretch out of it when I actually wash it. So I am happy. Yay, I'm glad I tried it on. I almost lost some stitches. Don't try this at home. Okay, so that was my Like a Cloud. I'm just gonna try to knit on that for a little bit, like maybe every weekend, because I do have these other projects that have deadlines that I need to be working on. So there's no rush to make it. It's hot as anything here, and it'll get done when it gets done. I totally forgot to mention the design that I'm working on, the knit shawl design. So I'm gonna say it super brief and insert it in, hopefully not too weirdly. What? But my knit shawl design is out of the doghouse. It is coming along really great now. I should be finished with it hopefully by the weekend, and at that time I'll be able to get the final yarn for the shawl design. I'm gonna tweak a couple things from this prototype to the final shawl, and then I'll be able to get started on it. So I'm really excited. My shawl has grown from an angsty teenager, and now it is like a blossoming college student, probably like a junior. It's not quite there yet, it hasn't graduated, but it's pretty mature, and it has a job to like help pay for tuition. That's where it's at now. But yeah, so that's where my shawl design is going. I spent a lot of time on it this week, which is why I've neglected my socks. But I also needed to finish that float tote. So that's where my shawl design is at. And now I will pop you back over to where I was a few minutes ago. So I want to talk about my back to school collection. I mentioned it last week that I have a crochet collection that is for back to school, and while it is free on my blog and will always be free on my blog, I do have the PDF versions on Ravelry. They're usually $1 a piece or $3 for all 5 patterns, but they are free until August 10th. No code needed, so that you can go ahead and grab all those patterns while they're free. And then you can, you know, maybe make something for your child or for your child's teacher. I did bring a few of them actually home to show you today, because when I talked about it last week, it was kind of like, oh yeah. And I only was able to put in pictures. So I did bring what I still have. So this is a 5 pattern crochet collection. They are all made out of kitchen cotton scraps. So I use sugar and cream. It is held single, not double. So like the float totes are held double, these are held single, so they're much more like fine. so I'm just gonna show you guys the patterns. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Tiny Dots bucket. It is little itty bitty and it's got dots on it. It's really easy to make. I have 2 of them, and I use them for school supplies. So I actually dumped all the tacks, all the clear like thumbtacks I had in here out just to bring this home. But I have this sitting, sometimes sitting on top of my little desk, but sometimes just in my drawer just to organize things, and I really like them. So it's really fun to put like different color combinations together. You only need a little bit of yarn for these 2, and then of course not much to make the main color. So that's a really fun one. The possibilities are endless for what you want to do with that. This one is super simple. This is the lunchtime napkin. I just wanted to make something that was small that you could like put into your kids' lunchbox. I use reusable cloth napkins that I got in the Target dollar section a few years ago. Every day for dinner and every day for lunch, I bring them to work, and it is so nice. Something else is I have slightly bigger than this. I have some dishcloths out of cotton, and I use them when I'm heating up my food at work, because I usually use glass containers, and even plastic ones, they both get really, really hot. So you just set your little container on here, put it in the microwave, because this can be microwave, there's no metallic in it. Microwave it, and then you're able to pick it up by this. So it's a lunchtime napkin, but it has multi-purposes. I actually use this one as a coaster on my desk because it makes me smile. It's so bright and cheerful. And then, did I say Tiny Dots was my favorite? This is probably my favorite. So it's hard to tell because of course I chose like coral and orange to show you, but this is a 2-color eraser, a dry erase eraser. So it is double thick. You make 1 square, and then I think you make both squares separately, and then you crochet them together around. These work super well for dry erase because you can really like push to get that, stubborn eraser stuff off. And then since they're cotton, you can throw them in the washing machine and wash them. So if I was a classroom teacher still, I would consider making these for all of my students and letting them use them throughout the year. And if they kept track of it all year, I would totally let them take them home, because they don't take that much time. It would be a good project to do like over the summer to get ready for your class. But I am not a classroom teacher anymore, and I see small groups, but I see like 40 kids in a day, so I'm not making 40 of these, but I do have a set so that at my little table the kids can use these, and they are fabulous. The other 2 things I have given away to students. There is a pencil grip, super easy. Essentially, it's a little rectangle that you sew together, and then the trick is putting hot glue on the inside and letting that hot glue dry, and then you have a little bit of a grip. They're not the greatest, but they're really cute, and the kids really like them. And then the last thing are the dinosaur tails, and they're just a cute little spiral, a great fidget toy, a quiet fidget toy. I know that a lot of my kindergarten students, when I taught kindergarten, would have benefited from something like that, something that they could keep in their pocket, like their jacket pocket, and just like to play with, just that texture of moving it around, and it wouldn't, like, fidget toys, we banned those like really quickly after they came out because they were loud and they would fall apart, and then kids would like battle with them. So I think that that would be something that if your child needs, their teacher might consider letting them have, instead of considering it like a toy that you can't bring to school. So that's the back to school crochet collection. It is free on Ravelry through August 10th. And you can so I made it so that if you didn't want all the patterns, you could get whichever ones you wanted individually free. The collection that's sold as a set is also free, so you can get them any way that you like. Okay, so let's talk about sock week. This will be the last time I talk about sock week until next year. So if you're like, I can't do another sock, hold on, we're almost done. So sock week 2019, I am considering a huge, huge success. It was everything that I hoped that it would be, as far as enthusiasm and participation and like milestones hit. That's not something I considered when I thought of the idea, but so many people were knitting first socks or trying new techniques, using yarn they never used for the first time. It was really, really special. So while I can only give prizes to 2 winners, kind of breaks my heart because everybody did such an incredible job. There were even those of you who are like veteran sock knitters that upped the ante, and even though you could enter with just the 1 sock, you decided a personal goal to knit multiple socks. And so everyone just did like met the challenge like in the way that I was hoping for, where it's a personal challenge and you can be proud of yourself at the end. There were some people who were disappointed because they did not finish their sock in 8 days, but they still were participating and they had the opportunity to enter the giveaway on Instagram since it was a participation prize. So I have 2 dogs with me today, one here on the floor and one up there on the stairs. Ugh. So for Sock Week 2019, that is coming to a close. I'm gonna announce winners in just a second. But for Sock Week 2020, I am already coming up with ideas, thinking about who I wanna work with. And I am open to taking your feedback. So if you participated this year and you want to give me some feedback, then you can please kindly email me. My email is knittynatty@gmail.com. You can just say like Sock Week feedback or suggestions. I am open to hearing whatever your suggestions are. Keep in mind that this Sock Week is aimed at meeting a personal challenge, and so just think about that. Some people did ask like, can I knit 2 socks and enter 2 times? So just consider that. I mean, I want to hear your suggestions for how we can make next year even better. One thing for sure that I want to do is make sure that next year is bigger, and that means having more prizes for you guys. I said, at the beginning, this is the first time I'm doing it, so we're starting small. There's only 2 prizes, but I would really like to up my game next year for you guys. Yeah, so please email me your suggestions. Oh, one more thing I want to say and then I'll announce prizes. So this is really cool, and it gets me into thinking that next year I might need to partner up with some designers, some sock designers, because while I didn't connect or promote any particular design except for that Susan B. Anderson smooth operator sock, because it's great for beginners, a lot of you, like maybe 10 of you out of 70 people, which I think is a lot, knit the new pattern by Kay, who's the crazy sock lady. You knit heel, toe, do-si-do, and I'll put a picture in. But these socks are super cute. They're good for self-striping yarns because you get like a really cute chevron, but I think they'd be also adorable in a solid yarn. But yeah, so many of you made that pattern that you have made me want to make the pattern. So I think I'm gonna have to get it and make my next socks after I finish my Shark Week ones out of that heel toe do-si-do pattern. It is super, super cute. Okay, so got interrupted by the dogs. I'm so thirsty today. So without further ado, let's do the winners. Okay, so I have 2 winners. I have 1 winner from Ravelry, and these are the entries where people had finished a sock in the 8 days. So some people were putting up pairs because they were finishing a second sock, or maybe they finished a pair, but you only had to knit 1 sock. Only, I mean, it's a challenge. 1 sock in 8 days. And so we had 73 entries, disregarding my post number 1. So I did numbers 2 through 74 in random number generator. And the winner was post number 47, who is Steffi Knits. So Steffi Knits, I will have contacted you, but get back to me, and you are the winner of a ball of yarn of your choice from our Sock Week sponsor, Malia Made It. And you will also get a few goodies from me, including a Simply Serving progress keeper. Sorry, the dogs are being so distracting right now. What do you see, guys? Crazy. Okay, then we also have an Instagram winner, and whether you finished or not, you were able to enter on Instagram multiple times because anytime you post it in your feed, that was an entry. There were over 350, I think there was around 370 posts on Instagram, disregarding mine, of course. And I had my husband pick that winner randomly. And so if you didn't win, you can be mad at him. But no, don't be mad at him. He just did it randomly. So the winner from Instagram is at Knitting and Nail Polish, which I'm so excited because I do remember seeing your socks in Instagram. And so I'm so happy that you are the winner. I can't remember which one. Did she do the heel toe do-si-do? I'll have to put a picture of her socks here, but they were super cute. Oh no, she didn't do heel toe do-si-do, but it was a really cute striping sock, I think. I saw so many socks, so it's hard to remember. But those are the winners, and we're gonna be back at it again in 2020. I am super, super excited to make Sock Week even bigger and better next year. All right, one last little bit just to wrap up, and then I have to get going because it is almost 6:30 and I know why these dogs are staring at me. Okay, so today was the very first day of school with students. I've been back for over a week now, but we had students today, so it was a really good day. Like I said, I got to just work after, like, you know, the initial, like, everyone getting to school. I got to just kind of work on data and crunch numbers and make plans and schedules, which is really my jam. I really, really, really like diving into that computer work. I don't know why, but I really, really enjoy it. So that was really, really good. The thing that was really hard was the end of the day. So I am here to give you an excellent place where you can bring your knitting, and that is the after school elementary car line. If you're a parent of an elementary school student, or you have been a parent of an elementary school student, or maybe you are old enough that you were driving when your siblings were in elementary school and you have picked them up through elementary school car line, you know that it can be really rough. And the first day of school is always the longest car line. Ours was like record-breaking long today. And that is one of my duties. I am part of it. Luckily, oh my gosh, luckily I wasn't outside today. I felt really bad for the teacher that had to be in the direct sunlight. There was lots of teachers, of course, outside helping with car line, but yeah, I'm gonna be out there tomorrow, and the high is 102, so pray for me. It'll be fine. I always bring water and everything because it is really strenuous just to be standing out in the heat like that in the sun. But the car line is long, and it will get better, it will get shorter, but it is always going to be long. And I remember when I was in elementary school, my mom would be one of those like first moms there, because she wanted to be, and she would bring a book and she would just read and wait, but it was worth for her getting there early so she could pick us up, be one of the first parents to pick us up. So I don't know, everyone has a different strategy. But first day of school car line, it's gonna be horrible. So you need to get your mindset right. The teachers are gonna be hopefully smiling, but know that they know it's rough and they're not trying to make it rough for you. It's just rough. Kids don't know where they're supposed to go, especially in kindergarten. They're like a mess, and we want to do everything safely, so we kind of have to do it slowly because we want to get kids to their parents or guardians or siblings that are picking them up. So it's going to be slow and painful. So if you come with that in mind and you can be at peace, you're going to have a much better first day car line experience. But like I said, this is a major, major knitting opportunity. I actually see a lot of like moms on Instagram that take pictures every day of their car line knitting. Sometimes it's like a sock. It's like my car line sock that they just keep in the car while they're waiting for car line. You know, you like go up a few feet, stop, knit a few stitches, go up a few feet, stop. I mean, please be safe, but There is also time periods where you're waiting for like 15 and 20 minutes in one spot for Cardigan to get going. It's a really good time to knit. So those are my 2 things about first day of school Cardigan. Be mentally prepared. Make sure you don't schedule anything after school because you're not gonna make it. You need to schedule things for like 2 hours after school ends so that you're early and you have time to go buy Sonic or something and get a drink because it's the first day of school. Oh man, that was really, really rough. But I'm home now, thank goodness. Tomorrow we'll get it done faster. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.